The Ghost of MLK Park Greenhouse. I stumbled upon an old forum dedicated to urban legends and ghost stories. One tale caught my eye, a chilling account of a haunting in the greenhouse at MLK Park, Buffalo, New York. Unlike the usual abandoned sites, this greenhouse is maintained but still carries an eerie, haunted aura. Next to it stands a small cabin that looks like a witch's hat, adding to the mysterious atmosphere. The story was shared by an anonymous user and has haunted me ever since. Here's what I found. It was a warm summer evening when Lisa, a local history enthusiast and amateur photographer, decided to explore the greenhouse at MLK Park. Despite its well-kept appearance, the place had an unsettling vibe that drew her in. She was particularly intrigued by the nearby cabin with its pointed roof, resembling a witch's hat. As Lisa stepped inside the greenhouse, the air grew heavy and cold, a stark contrast to the warmth outside. She shrugged off the chill, attributing it to the odd architecture and the dense foliage. She began snapping photos, her camera capturing the haunting beauty of the place. But as she reviewed her shots, she noticed something strange, a faint, ghostly figure in the corner of one photo. It was a woman in a long dress, her face obscured. Lisa's heart skipped a beat. She quickly glanced around, but there was no one else in the greenhouse. The eerie silence pressed in on her, and she felt a chill run down her spine. Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, she continued exploring, her curiosity piqued. As she ventured further inside, the air grew colder, and the shadows seemed to move with a life of their own. She reached the back of the greenhouse, where an old, ornate mirror stood against the wall. Its surface was covered in dust and grime, but something about it drew her closer. She wiped the dust away with her sleeve, revealing the mirror's surface. As her reflection became clear, she saw the figure again, this time, standing right behind her. Lisa gasped and spun around, but the greenhouse was empty. Decades earlier, the greenhouse was a thriving sanctuary, tended by a woman named Eleanor. Eleanor was passionate about her plants, spending every waking moment nurturing them. But one tragic day, she met an untimely end within these very walls. The exact circumstances of her death remain a mystery, but her spirit never left. Eleanor's restless spirit was said to haunt the greenhouse, her presence felt by those who dared to enter. Some claimed to hear her whispering among the plants, while others saw her ghostly form tending to the flowers as she did in life. Lisa, now thoroughly frightened, decided to leave. But as she turned to go, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The temperature plummeted, and the ghostly figure of Eleanor appeared before her, clearer than ever. Frozen in fear, Lisa watched as Eleanor's ghost reached out, her ethereal hand passing through the air towards her. In that moment, Lisa felt a rush of emotions, sorrow, longing, and a deep connection to the spirit that lingered in the greenhouse. Summoning her courage, Lisa spoke to the ghost, her voice trembling. She offered words of peace and understanding, hoping to connect with Eleanor's restless spirit. The ghost paused, as if listening, and then slowly began to fade away. As Eleanor's ghost faded, the greenhouse seemed to come back to life. The oppressive cold lifted, and the silence was replaced by the soft sounds of nature. Lisa, feeling a sense of relief, quickly left the greenhouse, her mind reeling from the encounter. Sitting on a nearby bench, Lisa reviewed her photos once more. The ghostly figure of Eleanor was gone, but the memory of the encounter remained etched in her mind. She knew she had experienced something extraordinary, something beyond the realm of the living. The greenhouse in MLK We cannot assure that this haunting is real or not. But what do we know is, something is always watching in the dark. And for good or bad. We better have our holy symbol of choice and salt at hand. Farewell. And good night.